Hey everybody, Christensen here for Lead, Communicate, Grow, and in this episode we're talking about navigating the winters of your life. It's just winter season in the Southern Hemisphere right now. Things are getting cold, we're rugging up, but I just want to talk about what it's like when you're going through experiences in your life when things don't feel as easy as they normally do, or perhaps they feel challenging. How do you navigate those situations well and lead well and grow through those experiences? Come on, let's get into it. Okay, here we go. We are looking at how to navigate the winters of your life. 4 steps to working through challenging situations and difficult seasons in your life. You know, winter is a time when things slow down. It's harder to get out of bed. Maybe you're somebody that loves winter. I'm personally not somebody that loves winter. I live in a subtropical climate and I much prefer the summer or the spring. But winter, you know, it's hard to get out of bed. It's hard to get things motivated and get things done. Especially if it's dreary or it's raining. And I've found that sometimes our life can be a little bit like that. There are seasons in our life when things don't seem to flow as well. They don't seem to feel as easy. The lack of energy, the lack of motivation. Perhaps there are obstacles in your life that you're finding challenging and you're trying to overcome. Well, I have found that in those times, there are some really easy steps that you can take to navigate those situations well so that they don't overwhelm you, so that they don't set you back, but also that you can grow through and you can come out the other side having learned and flourished despite the experiences that you might have. Now, I don't know what winter looks like for you in the metaphorical sense. I don't know what you're going through. If you're facing an obstacle right now, maybe it's a family crisis or a stress that you've got at work. Maybe it's a challenge you've got with your team or your organization that you're trying to lead. Whatever that might look like, the first thing we need to understand is this, that winters happen. Winters come every year. They're a part of the cycle, and winters have their purpose. Winters are times of rest, times of introspection, times of reflecting, times of preparing for a new season of growth. If you think about it in nature, you know, winter is the time when the ground rests before spring and summer, when the harvest comes. You know, it's the time when animals hibernate and they restore their energy before going back out into the world and doing what they do. And I guess metaphorically for us, when we have those seasons when maybe things are not working the way that you want them to work, maybe they're not growing the way that you want them to grow, it's feeling a little bit stagnant, it's feeling a little bit like winter is closed in. Well, don't see it as a bad thing, except that those times are necessary and they are a reality. And those are the times that you can actually prepare for really exponential growth in your leadership and in your life. There are also times when you can rest. You know, if we're on the go constantly, we live in a 24-hour society where it's very hard to shut down, and we need to use those times to actually really regroup, to regenerate, to take stock of what's important and make sure that we're pouring our energy into the right priorities so that we're not just go without any evaluation of what's going on. So first things first, let's accept that winters happen, down seasons happen, difficult times happen, and you're not going to escape them. And so trying to escape them or trying to avoid them or minimize them, it's just not reality. But what you can do is you can walk through them really effectively. And so I want to give you 4 tips that I actually got from the book Fish. If you've never read it, I recommend you go out and check it out. I forget now who the author is. It's a really short book, but I'll try and link in the description for it. And just 4 little keys that I found so helpful when I'm going through seasons where I'm doubting myself or I'm feeling like it's a struggle. And the first one is choose your mood. You get to choose the attitude that you bring into every day. You see, your thoughts control your emotions. Your emotions have a direct impact on your choices and the actions that you take in your life, and those actions will create your reality and they will create your experiences that you have. So you have to learn to choose your mood every day. You know, I used to be a really moody guy. I used to be a really grumpy guy when I would wake up in the morning. I used to say I'm not a morning person, all of that sort of stuff. And look, to a point, I still am not a morning person, but what I learned is that when I get up grumpy, when I get up on the wrong side of the bed, I'm not only affecting me, I'm affecting all the people around me. And what it does is it sets off a chain reaction of moody people or disgruntled people. You know, you might take your mood to work, and you might take out your stress or your frustration on your colleagues or somebody that works for you. And what it does is it just fosters this attitude of resentment, and it fosters this attitude of discouragement and frustration. And if you want to start changing your experiences in those times, it starts with you. It starts with the mood that you bring into the day. You get to choose the attitude and the mood you bring into the day. So now I choose to get up in the morning and be in a good mood. Now, I'm not always perfect, of course, but I make every effort not to bring a mood into my house and into my family or into my workplace. I'm always starting the day in my workplace by greeting people, by talking to people, and trying to inject some life and some energy into the day for other people, because I know that mood will have a knock-on effect to everything else I do and everything else that my people do. So learn to choose your mood. Your experiences don't have to dictate your mood. You might be having a bad time, but you can choose to be in a positive mood. Just a little anecdote. I used to, many years ago when I was in my 20s, I used to work in a nursing home, and one of my jobs was to take the elderly residents out on their morning walk, and I used to drive the bus, and every morning I would have somebody coming to the bus complaining about the weather. You know, how are you, Beryl? Oh, it's cold today. Or how are you, Helen? Oh, it's raining today. And they would always be complaining about the weather, and I found that the weather never changed. You know, there was always rainy days, there was always sunny days, there was always cold days, but they always had something to complain about, except for one man, John. He was the oldest man in our group. He was 98 years old, and whenever he came to the bus, I would say, "Good morning, John, how are you?" His reply was the same, no matter whether it was raining, sunny, winter, summer. His reply was always, "I'm fantastic, what a great day it is." He chose his mood. Every day he chose it, and he enjoyed it, and it probably had a great deal to do with how long he lived. You know, he lived well into his 90s. And so there's just a little bit of an example of how you can be somebody who just observes what's going on around you and comments on it negatively, or you can choose to see the good in your experience and in your day and choose your mood positively. The second thing that you can do is to just have fun. Learn to goof off, learn to tell jokes, learn to just not take yourself so seriously. I mean, I have had to learn how to do this. I used to think I was a little bit too cool for school. I didn't feel comfortable, mucking around and goofing off. But what I found is that when I can muck around, when with my kids, I tell dad jokes, and with the people I work with, I make little humorous comments, not to, denigrate anybody, but just to make light of or make fun of situations and just have a bit of fun. Have a laugh, have a laugh at your own expense. If you make a mistake, don't get serious about it. Just laugh at yourself. Tell a joke about yourself. If you learn to have fun, you'll find that the people around you have fun. They enjoy what's going on, and they will start to take that attitude into their experience. The third thing is this: make somebody else's day. Make a decision that every day you will find a way to make somebody else's day. Lift somebody's spirits. Encourage somebody. Give a gift to somebody. Just do something that will lift somebody's spirits. I remember when my youngest son was just a little toddler. He was about 2 years old, and we were on a ferry boat, and we were crossing a river, and halfway across the river, the ferry boat captain stopped. And he turned around and he looked at my son and he said, "You, come over here and you can drive the ferry boat." Or maybe he was older than 2. He was probably about 4. And he called him up to the wheelhouse, and he stood up there, supposedly driving this ferry boat across the river. Now, this was every little boy's dream, to drive a boat. I mean, his grin was from ear to ear. But do you know what happened by that small act of kindness that the ferry boat captain showed my son? It affected the whole boat. Everybody stopped what they were doing. They started taking photos of this little boy that was driving the boat. They were all laughing and pointing and smiling about what a cute thing it was. The ferry boat captain was having the time of his life, because he was making someone's day. He was enjoying himself. And this would have been such a boring job back and forth across the river, yet he chose to make somebody's day and find a way to make it more interesting and more enjoyable for everybody around. And the last thing is this. The last thing is invite people into your experience. If you're struggling, if you're finding things difficult, if you've got obstacles, talk to somebody about it. Invite people to have a say, or to help you out. The old adage, a problem shared is a problem halved, is very, very true. When you share what's going on in your life, not to be negative, but just to say, hey, I might need some help here. What you'll find is the stress, the burden of it becomes lighter, and it will actually help you to navigate those seasons far more effectively. Winter doesn't have to be a time where you just go to ground, where you hide, where you get discouraged, where it feels overwhelming. Winter can be a time where you grow, where you make a difference, and you can come out the side ready for anything. And it's just 4 simple things. Choose your mood, have fun in your day, make somebody else's day, and invite somebody into your experience. And I really believe that it will help you to lead better, it will help you to feel better in yourself, and it'll help you to grow more effectively in whatever you are doing. I hope that was really helpful for you. Don't forget, if you want to learn more about leadership, check out our course, Leading for Success. The link will be in the description below. And you can also access our free goal setting guide, which will help you to set goals that are effective and work. Just download the free download link in the description. Until next time, I'm Tarun Stevenson. Hey, can you do something for me? Just before you click off this video, can you hit the subscribe button? 98% of the people that watch these videos are not subscribers, and I produce this content all the time, and I want to make sure that you're getting updates. So hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, and I'd love to take you on this journey with us. Until next time, take care.